Hey, and welcome to this Notion tutorial. In this tutorial, I will show you how you can create your own to-do list template like this, where you have your overview of your tasks, and here you can just drag and drop the tasks between not started, in progress, and to done. You can also delete tasks here, and you also have the description of your tasks visible here in your overview. We will also add a button where you can just easily add a new task. For example, this new task with a description, a due date, and also a priority. Then you can add some notes and then you can save your task, and then it is automatically added to your overview here. We will set up different views here in our database. We have the overview, then we also have the to-do list, where you have this list overview. We also have a calendar for all our to-do dates, and we have also a deleted folder where we can look into our deleted tasks, because when we delete a task which we don't want it to, we can just click here and then get it back to our overview. And we will also add this memo here with some reminders. So yeah, this is all about this to-do list template. If you're just interested in the template itself and you don't want to build it, you can check out this exact template on the Notion marketplace. I will link it in the description of this video, and there you can just add it to your Notion workspace. But if you're interested on how to build this to-do list template from scratch, you're at the right place. So let's start. So, of course, we will start with a blank Notion page. And here we will add a database. Here, so I type in / and then database, and then here I select the board view. Because when we select the board view, we already have this overview with not started, in progress, and done. And this is already a property added to our database. So the first thing I will do is to name my database. So I will name this database ToDo. And then the first thing I want to do is to add another view to this database. So next to the title of the database, you can add a new view. Here I will add the table view. So now we can switch between the board view and also the table view. The first thing is that I will create a new page or rename this page to task 1. Then I will add another page and add this, and we'll rename this to task 2. So now we already have 2 entries, which we just use as dummy entries, so we can play around here with this database. After the creation in the board view, we already have this property. This is the assign property. I want to build a personal to-do list, so we don't need this property, so we can just delete this property. And then we are just left here with the name property and the status property. So let's add the properties we need for our to-do list. So we have the status. Then the next thing is we want to have a due date for our to-dos. So when we click here on add property on this little plus, Notion already suggests us to add a due date because it knows we want to build a to-do list. If you don't have this due date here, you can just go down to select type and select the date type. And then just rename this to due date. So then we add another property, and this will be our priority property. So we add a select type property, and this I will rename to priority. Now we can just go down to our first task and click here in the table, and here we can add a new priority, and I will add urgent. So we already have this urgent priority which we can select from. And then we also want to add a description property. So we can also describe our task so we see the description in our overview. So here Notion already suggests us the description, so we just take this. Otherwise, just select the text type. So now we have the description, and now we want to add one more feature to our to-do list, and this is the delete button. So for this, we add a new property, and this will be a button property. So select the button. So now we also have here this button in our database. I will now rename this button. So I will just give it an emoji, and this just says delete. We will set up the automation later, but now we have successfully set up our database for this project. So I will add 2 more tasks. So we have task 3 and also task 4. Now, when we go back to our board view, this is task 5, also good. We can see here are our tasks, but at the moment there is just the name property visible. We want to have also the description, the delete button, the due date and the description visible here. But we can already change here the position. So I will just drag them around. So in every status is one task, so it looks better. So to change our view here so that we have here more information visible on our cards, we can go next to new is this settings button. When you click on it, you have the setting of your database. And here we can go to property visibility. At the moment it is set to 1, so this is just the name, but we also want to see the description. We also want to see the due date, and we also want to see the priority and the delete button, because we already have the status here in our columns. So let's add a description to our task. So when we click on it, we can here set a description. So this is a description. So we also see this property here in our table. So now I will rename the second view. So I will just rename this to to-dos, and the board view will be the board view. So the next thing I want to do is to add a function to my button, because at the moment when I click on it, nothing happens. So I want to set the status of my task to delete it. For this, we have to add a status first. So we go here to our to-dos, to the table view, then go to status, and then just click on any task. And here you can go to edit property, and then you can set here a new property. I will add one to completed. So I click on the plus and I will add a deleted. And now I will just change the color to red. So we also have the deleted status. Now we go to our button property and click here at the head of the column. Then we go to edit automation. So here we have the automation view of what should happen when the button is clicked. So when button is clicked, do those action. So new action, and here we will edit a property, and then we will edit the status and set status to deleted. So and this is all we have to do, and now we save this. Now we can already test this. So when we click the button, the status should be set to deleted. So let's try this. So when I click the button, status is set to deleted. So when I go to the board view, this was task 1. Task 1 is now here in deleted. But I don't want to have this here, so I can just go to the 3 dots, and then I can set this to hide group. So yeah, now I just can see it here in my to-dos list. But of course we can add a view which only shows us the deleted tasks. So let's go to add a new view, and here we will just add a list view. So this list view will have all those, and now we will add a filter to our status. So we only want to show tasks where the status is deleted. And now here we only have our deleted tasks. And now we also can set back to not started, and then it will show up here in our overview. And now we can also delete it from here. So yes, now we have set up more or less our to-do list. One step I want to add here is this button where we can just add a task which opens the center view of this task, and then we can just type in everything we want to add to the task. So underneath our database, we will add this button and then we will drag it up. So type in / and then search for button and create this button. When you have created it, Notion will automatically open the automation view. When this don't happen, you can go to the button, and next to the button, there will be the edit button. So yeah, now we can give this button a name. I will give it the name new task. Also change the icon of it to a plus icon in green. Yeah, this looks nice. And now when the button is clicked, we want to do the following actions. So new action, and we want to add a page to our to-do database. So just make sure it is the right database. Then we want to give this a name, new task. This could be, of course, also empty. And then we also could give it a description, due date, or priority. But I want to type those in manually. So we also have to open this new task. So we go to add action, and then we select open page. And which page should be opened? The page we have just added in the center peak view. Of course, it could also be the side peak or a full page, but I think for this, the center peak is the best view. And then hit done. And now you can drag and drop this above your to-do list. So, and now we can already test this button. So when we click on the button, a new task will open here in the center peak. We can give it a description. So new task and also a due date. So due date will be tomorrow, and also a priority. Yeah, and now when we click somewhere next to the center peak, this one is added to our tasks. We also have those due dates, but we don't have a view where we can look into our due dates, so we can have those on a nice calendar view. So we will add a new view here to our to-do list. So go to the plus, add a new view, and here select the calendar view. And after you have done this, you can already see that here this new task we have just created with the due date tomorrow is shown here. And now you can just drag and drop it around. So when you want to change the due date. So now we just want to add one tiny detail to this to-do list template. So we can add here a line. And here we want to add a memo. So when you do hashtag, you can add a heading to, I will call this memo. And here there will be just some checkboxes. So slash and then search for to-do list. And here we will have memo 1, memo 2, and so on. And this we can mark also as completed. So yeah, this is all the magic of building this to-do list template from scratch. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If yes, it would be nice when you give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new on this channel and you don't want to miss any new tutorials, make sure you subscribe it. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!